Greetings! My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Somebody asked on the last stream if I can point the webcam at for like a third-person view. Let's see if it works. I put it up there. Let's see. No, that ain't gonna work. It's not wide enough. So today, I think we're gonna just destroy as many tiny whoops as it takes to son of a bitch. As it takes to hit the impossible power loop. I think that's the deal. We'll start with the pickled whoop from Friday's live stream that I did a review and flied a bunch. And if I destroy this, or if I get tired of this and want to try something different, I'm gonna move over to the newbie drone race. You know what? We'll try this regardless. It'll be an interesting comparison of bi-blades versus tri-blades. These are both really lightweight. Also up tilt. This is on a 20-degree up tilt mount. This is on a 40-degree up tilt mount. We'll see if the lower up tilt helps me any. Both of these are crazy lightweight, so the power to weight ratio will be awesome. I wonder if that's helping me. I wonder if a heavier build... All right, so we'll throw a heavier build into the mix. What's the heaviest rig that I've got? It's probably this. Yeah. So this has the full old school Mobula 6 canopy. It is on a light AF frame. My scale works again. The batteries were dead, even though I'd charged them. I don't know what happened. Maybe the charger went into discharge mode or something like that. What the hell? It's dead again. What? What? Why? What's happening? What world are we living in? You filthy fucking whore. I guess one of these batteries is bad. So these are Sanyo Eneloop Black Series. Double X. Double X stands for piece of crap. Why? What? These are the batteries that I had in that scale. It says this one's full. It says this one's full too. What? What is the deal here? Hold on. Hold on. What about this? What about this battery? What's this battery say? 1.38. Yo, come on now. What? This is ridiculous. All right, I'm gonna let this other battery charge, and then I'm gonna try swapping either one of these out to see what's going on here. I've never had a problem with these Sanyo Eneloop batteries until the last 3 days. The scale came on a second ago and it said low for low battery. So it's this scale has had these batteries in it for months, like 6 months, and well, it's a little heavier. If any, so this will be a cool test. This is definitely heavier. This is on a 2G4 AIO, and it's got the big boy canopy on it. But it also has the biblade propellers. So this could be the key to the ultimate impossible power loop. So we'll fly the 3 of these. I have a feeling that it's going to take me every bit of time and effort to make this happen. So we'll see, because it is bordering on being impossible. But yeah, I think that's the deal. I think that there's been a little bit of a build up to this, and you guys seem to enjoy yourselves on Friday's live stream, listening to me scream and yell as I almost made that impossible power loop over and over and over again. So yeah, the flying at the beginning of the live stream was the Grinderino, actually. Jamie Ann, local Georgia Jamie Ann, not North Carolina Jamie Ann, ordered something off my Etsy store, and I said, hey, it's kind of insane for me to ship this to you. We should just fly somewhere, and I'll drop it off. And so we did, and ooh, this motor ain't loving life. What's happening here? And so we went to one of my favorite spots in Alpharetta, the double corner dive spot, that I sort of found when I first moved here, and is now one of the favorite spots in Atlanta. And since my hands are still banged up, I said, you know what? No 5-inch. I'm bringing only micros. And so I brought literally all of the 3-inch rigs that work. And then I just ended up flying. I test flew some stuff. So I test flew the QAV Cine with a different mount set up here for the GoPro Bones, and I thought that the mount was going to do this, and it did. It did fail as soon as I crashed it. This thing, as soon as I put the Bones on it, it started to fly away. As soon as I arm it, it either doesn't like this much weight on the nose, or maybe something else is going on. At the same time, I put these foam, I don't know what to call them. It's almost like a duct blocker type things on it, and they could be the problem, but I've used them before and they've worked before, so I don't think they're the problem. I think there's something about the weight of the GoPro Bones up on the nose of this thing that is it's making the motors at like cruising RPM get into a vibration that they don't like, and then it's trying to it's at 0 throttle, it's trying to fly away on me. And so, yeah, I learned a couple things. I learned that this mount from Thingiverse is not good enough, and that this tiny little latch in the back of it is nowhere near enough to hold on and not fail. I had a feeling that was going to be the case. Doubles FPV designed me this mount based on based on a mount that I downloaded from Thingiverse. And it's funny, before I even went out and flew, I messaged him. I said, hey man, I know how this mount's gonna fail. Can you make it fits? This is like the first shot at it. It fits, but I said, can you beef up this latch part in the back here? Because I know that's gonna let go. And sure enough, it was it just popped right off. The first little crash that I had when it tried to fly away and I disarmed it, it flat bottomed and it just, and the as you saw a second ago, the bones flopped forward. And so I had already sent some feedback on that, and then I provide some other feedback. So massive shout out to Doubles FPV for, he actually already did it. He already made the changes that we talked about. Should have a much stronger version of this. I just have to print it. So that's super awesome. But for right now, for the sake of troubleshooting, the other thing that could have happened is there could be something weird going on with this cable that I added to power the bones. It kind of goes up and pushes against the flight controller. I didn't think it would be an issue, but yeah, no, never mind. It's not pushing against the flight controller. I pulled it forward to kind of make sure that it wouldn't, and I thought maybe it still was, but it's not. It's absolutely not pushing against the flight controller, so that's not the problem. But yeah, I don't know. It could be something weird with this cable. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've taken the bones and the mount off, I'm just going to tuck this cable in here, and I'm going to put it up like this, with these foam bastards on here to see how it is with those. You know, step-by-step troubleshooting. I am going to put this back on the front. And then I'm sure it'll be totally fine. And then I'll be back to kind of square one. I don't get it, man. Like, lots of people have this build and run naked GoPros on it. I don't know what's happening with mine. There could, like I said, I have a feeling that with the weight of the bones, it's putting this thing at a throttle percentage that's just causing a weird vibration, and then that turns into an oscillation, and then it goes banana pants. So, but we'll see. We'll see. The troubleshoot has begun. Thanks again, Doubles FPV, for being awesome at CAD and helping a brother out. So yeah, there's that. Thing's all dirty. It crashed into the dirt. Ew! So I flew that yesterday. I also flew the Quadmilla F3 split, which was super fun. I built these two right before Castle Crash last year, because I wanted to have some 3-inch freestyle rigs to bash around. And the camera mount setup that I had on this was bad, and the camera kept ripping out of the TPU mounts. I fixed that when I got home, and then something happened with this. I forget what happened with this, and I fixed this as well when I got home. And then I started tiny whooping and didn't really fly these much, if at all. And I forgot how awesome they are. This has the Mamba Toka 1505 motors, which are kind of a pain in the ass. The bells slip. And yesterday I actually crashed it, and one of the bells slipped, and then but then I smashed it back, and it's kind of fine. But it was really, but yeah, they both flew pretty damn well. It was super cool to compare these two. Sure wish the scale worked so I could weigh the two of them, but the Grinderino is a little bit heavier, longer arms, set up for 3.5-inch props, which is what it has on it now. It also has bigger motors. This has the Xnova 1804 motors. Again, this has the Mamba 1505s. So the Grinderino is definitely a little bit heavier, but with the 3.5-inch props on it, you would never know it. And it actually, in the air, it feels, I'm not going to say it feels lighter, but it feels like it has more of a, it feels like it has a higher disc loading, in that, like, it's not heavier enough to offset the difference in the prop size. These 3.5 inch props are a lot bigger than 3-inch props. I know it's only like 0.25 of an inch on either side, but they perform a lot bigger. Look, this ELRS antenna got mangled. What's happening here? Did I ruin this? Yarr. Nope. It's fine. The strands of wire on the inside are good to go. I do need to fix this though. I did a terrible job mounting this ELRS-T antenna. That's why it got chopped up in the propellers. I need to do better than this. But yeah, these two flew absolutely awesome. I had a blast flying these two guys. This was kind of the star of the show though. The 1804 motors, the extra power, and then the 3.5 inch props were just great. Why is this motor so not spinny? Like, look, ready? This is what a motor should normally do. You let go and it keeps going. Look at this one. What are you all upset about, motor? These X-Nova 1804s have 3mm motor shafts, so usually you don't bang the motor shaft up to the point where you break it, or bend it rather. Yeah, the motor shaft is not bent, but the bearings are unhappy for some reason. Whatever, I'll throw some motor lube at it. And we'll see. Both on Walk Snail. I had a blast with both. You guys got to see some of the flight footage. It's fine. Walk Snail is totally fine. Is it as good as 04? Of course not. Is it as good as 03? Almost, but not quite. Totally flyable. If you can get your hands on some Walk Snail stuff, get it. It performs really great for what it is. And you can't get 04 stuff, so might as well get Walk Snail stuff. Might as well fly something while you're waiting for 04 stuff to come back in stock. CiottiFPV made a GoPro Bones mount. He posted it over in the 3D printing text channel on my Discord. The mount spacing is trivial to customize. It's a 2-part print he's posting right now. Support first layer, support first in PLA PETG, then the mount itself is TPU. That's pretty cool. There you guys go. It's over on 3D printing. The link to my Discord is over on CiottiFPV.com. Do it! That's a cool design, having the base be rigid and then the mount kind of peeks through it. That's pretty slick. I like it. In the chat, Bad was first. Swiss Links, Apache Smoke, Wounded Sniper, Matthew W, Eco, Cole Powers, Sporny, Andrew Taylor, Uriel, Spaceman Spiff, Elias, Douglas 6, Frank Nicholas, Spaceman Spiff again, Bad, Joe Presto, Gusto, Hendrix Freakazoid, Chris Mel, V-Pro, Cole Powers, You Can FPV, Islander FPV, Bagzilla, Game Hat Ariel, B-Bird, Elias, Everyday with Bruno, Islander Bad, Cole Powers, Game Hat, Omega Zenon or Xenon, Kazuki, Douglas 6 again, Botanically Enhanced, Maxim Nub, that's a fun name, Morton Upshot, El Chingon, Zabluga, Brandon's Baked Beans. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging. CiottiFPV.com. Click some buttons. Support me. I'll keep doing this. Atreides as well. What's up, brother? Atreides doing that the sketchy testing of ESCs with 533. If you guys haven't seen that video, you should watch it. It's wild. The most reckless thing I think I've ever seen. Yo, what if one of those props explodes and those blades come off at full throttle? One of you motherfuckers gonna die. Careful. Good lord. Apache Smoke said, if you want to talk directly to me in the chat, just type CiottiFPV. It'll highlight in orange for me. You can type each other's names. If you accidentally, like in your chat message, type the word eco, E-C-O, it's going to drive Eco insane, because every single time you guys type the word ECO into your chat message, his name is going to light up orange, and he's going to be like, ooh, they're talking to me. And then he's just going to see that you guys are being assholes, and he's going to be like, man, what a group of jerks. I'm never coming back here. So don't do that. Definitely don't do it. Don't. Delete that. Stop it. Dick. Cole Power says, CiottiFPV poke. Uriel says, CiottiFPV and everybody who wants to hear. JB told on his podcast he was... He did not. VPro says, what can I try to build for flying indoors if I already have the best durable 65mm 32,500 HV around 18 grams? I may try to go very lightweight later for the next race gal. Any other fun ideas? Do a 1.4mm build is what you should do. The 1.4mm lightweight 65 mil builds they're very different. They're more different than you'd think. They are significantly slower. They accelerate significantly slower, but then the hang time is really, really cool. So do that. Do a 1.4mm build like what I've been doing for the past couple of months on the streams. Cole Power says, if you're looking for a super wide USB cam, Arducam makes some neat fisheye stuff. That's fun. I'm actually looking for the opposite. I'm looking for a zoomed in FPV camera for here that'll be a little bit tighter on the... There's been a fly flying around in this house harassing all of us for the last like 3 days. It woke Maggie up the other day. She was trying to take a nap, and she woke up to the sound of a fly. And then he comes down here and he flies around me. If he lands on something, I'm going to clap the shit out of his ass. That's a terrible sequence of words to put together. Gamehead Ariel says, I'm late, but I'm here. What's up, brother? Elias says, my battery sagged out while flashing Blue Jay on the third ESC in my IO. Now I can't read it. Is it bricked? Kinda, maybe. Just keep trying. Just keep trying to reflash it. There is stuff that you can do, like you can solder to the programming pins sometimes if they're there. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, that sucks, dude. But just keep trying. Keep trying to reflash it. I've had that happen before, and I've just stubbornly kept trying and trying and trying to reflash it, and eventually it just weirdly works. I'm doing the same thing every time, but so yeah, try that. If that doesn't work, it's pretty bricked. You can certainly go down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to solder directly to it, but I don't know how much time you got. How much time and patience do you have? That sucks, dude. That's a shitty lesson of, like, make sure the battery's charged enough. Cole Power says, I've never had an issue with Eneloop. I think low self-discharge was a marketing acronym. No, it's not. So back when I was shooting still photography, I used all AA powered strobes, and so I got to try a lot of different AA batteries, and they would sit. I would charge them, and they would sit for a while, and that's exactly what the low discharge, the Sanyo Eneloop low self-discharge batteries said that they were better with, and they really, really, really were. I compared them to 3 different types of regular, I guess they're nickel metal hydride, right? Yeah, I think they're nickel metal hydride. And yeah, the Sanyos were absolutely better. My dad as well. I got I don't remember if I introduced my dad to the Eneloops or if it was the other way around, but I forget what his scenario was, but he used a lot of rechargeable AA and AAAs, and he had the same experience. The Sanyo Eneloops were absolutely better than the regular nickel metal hydrides in terms of you put them in something and then you walk away for a couple months and then you try to use that thing again. Regular nickel metal hydride, like if you charge them and just let them sit, they will just self-discharge quite a bit. And the Eneloops are way better about that. So it wasn't just marketing hype; it was real. The Eneloops were a in that respect, at least in the self-discharging thing, they were way better than any of the other options. In terms of like capacity and how long that they would last if you're actually using them, they weren't really any better than any of the other options. They were good at this like one thing, which is what I loved about that is like you put them into a remote for your television and they last way longer. Normally, like a regular nickel metal hydride, you would put them into like a device that just draws a tiny little bit of energy. And like after a few months, you would need to recharge them. Whereas the Eneloops, you could get like a year out of them. Like it was a big difference. Gamehead Area says, what about the higher pitch HQ and no throttle scale? So I already have the throttle scale removed. And I don't think that the slightly higher pitch propellers would make enough of a difference. I think that the bi-blades would be the way to go. The problem is that it's not sailing far enough off throttle. The real problem is that I'm not flying it properly. Going through a gate, we're discussing the impossible power loop here for anybody that's not following what I'm getting at. The real problem here is that going through the cube gate really low to the ground and then going through the hanging gates I'm not used to doing that. I'm used to going through a cube gate, throwing it across the room, and then going through hanging gates. So I'm used to going in low and then throwing at like an angle so that it'll go through the gate and then back down. What I'm having to do now is like go down through and then go straight up pretty much and then straight back. So yeah, it's mainly user error of me needing to relearn how to kind of, I need to shape this power loop differently. I'm actually going to do a live stream about that at some point. Shaping your power loops and Matty flips. So when I was in Denver, Colorado, there's a perfect example of this for Tiny Whoop Open. Where's it at here? So here's a perfect example of shaping a Matty flip in a very specific kind of way. Tiny Whoop Open, and then DJI, and I think it was the very first battery. Yeah, this should be it. So here's an example of how you can kind of shape a Matty flip differently. Oh, perfect. I didn't even think about this. So here's one shape of a Matty flip. On the throttle, let it hang, blip the throttle. And so this was a pretty tight Matty flip right around sort of that part of the crane, right? And it happens pretty quick. So we got blip, throttle, out, right? Matty flip that happens pretty quick. Compare that to... Oh, wait, no. Did I do it before? Is it like the first thing that I did? Where the hell is it? Compare that Matty flip to... Oh, no. It must be the second file. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So compare that to this one. You'll see what I mean. Ready? Still a Matty flip. Drastically different shape to it. See how I let it fall? Because I'm Matty flipping something that's very tall. That part of the crane is short in a way. And so you can, with power loops and Matty flips, you can shape them differently. And it's really just about where you apply the throttle, to be totally honest. But it matters. And like doing something like what I'm trying to do with this impossible power loop, I'm having to shape I'm having to shape the power loop more like this. Matty flips and power loops are just the reverse of one another. They're the same thing. This Matty flip is very tall. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting. I give it this little blip here, off the throttle. 0 throttle, 0 throttle, 0 throttle. Now I get on the throttle to pull it out of there. The power loop that I'm doing here is just like that, where it's really tall. So instead of wait, throttle for the Matty flip, in this case, if I was to power loop that really tall walkway thing, I would have to go under it. I would have to hammer the throttle to get up high enough, and then I would throw it back over it. And that's kind of what I have to do here. I should almost start doing this with 2 throttle blips. I should almost go in through the cube, blip the throttle once to get it up here, and then again to shoot it back. I'm going to try that. That's the same way when I go upstairs and I power loop the whole room. I go up to the bottom of the wall, I blast the throttle to go up here to the corner, the top of the wall, and then I wait, and then I hammer the throttle again to trace the roof line. It just kind of looks cooler. And so that's what I'm calling here shaping. You can shape a power loop. You can shape a Matty flip in the case of upstairs, I'm shaping it to follow the contours of the room, right? The room upstairs is like this. The ceiling is not flat like it is here in the basement. The ceiling is like vaulted, I guess it would be called. And so I'm doing the power loops upstairs in a way that traces up the wall, and then it traces up here, and then it traces down, and then it traces like that. And in order to do that, it's throttle blip, throttle blip. And that's kind of what I need to do down here, because I have that low cube and then the high gates. What I normally do is just go into the cube and then blast the throttle and do the whole thing diagonally to get up through the gates. And so, yeah. I need to shape it differently. Shaping is a word that comes from. I'm using the word shaping because it's a word that I've learned from couples dancing. You do different things that make different shapes with your partner. You can make a shape with your partner like this. You can make a shape with your partner like that. Usually you're like this. You can go off like this. You can both go one direction and the other direction. It's yeah. But we can shape our flying to create different visuals from the camera. Gold Power says, no, we got that. Gamehead Aerials, we got that. Kazuki says, been such a long time missing the hobby, and CiottiFPV being a wonderful human as usual. Any recommendations for a 3-inch dead cat frame? Thanks for the kind words. I don't know many dead cat frames. There probably aren't many 3-inch dead cat frames. So if you can find one that exists, that's going to kind of be my recommendation. Look for removable arms, not just if you're going to be flying freestyle, just in general. It's better to have removable arms. The arms need to be a thicker carbon fiber than the base plate. So having a solid base plate is always a bad idea, because either the arms are going to be too thin or the base plate is going to be too thick. So removable arms, every single frame should have removable arms. It's 2025. Get with it, manufacturers. Stop doing the easy thing and making solid unibody frames. They're bad. They're no matter what, they're bad. There's no situation other than like a box frame where they really make any sense. So yeah, look for removable arms. And look at the weight. Most frames are kind of like needlessly heavy. Well, I mean, it kind of depends. If with a dead cat frame, you should not be flying freestyle with that usually, because it's going to put. Essentially, when you swing the front arms back, the nose of the quad is going to take a lot more abuse, and that's where the camera is. So you're going to destroy a lot of cameras, and you're going to destroy a lot of base plates and top plates, which are way more difficult to replace than arms. So typically dead cat frames are for cinematic kind of stuff. You could argue that for cinematic stuff, the weight of the frame doesn't matter as much, unless unless you're going for like a long range-ish setup, then the weight does matter. But yeah, definitely look for removable arms. And I think finding a 3-inch dead cat frame that has removable arms, I think you're going to have one or two options. And so, yeah, look for someone that's reviewed either one of those. And if in the review it's not a total nightmare, just snag that one, I would say. Douglas6 says, CiottiFPV and gang, 65mm is flying great, but dropping with RX loss randomly at 10 feet. Beta FPV Air G4 AIO antenna looks good. Did the AIO transmitter just shit the bed? Certainly sounds like it. You can remove that antenna and you can like re-solder that antenna. Maybe the solder joint for the antenna is a cold solder. So I would do that before throwing it in the trash, but it sounds like the onboard receiver shot the bed. Gamehead Ariel says, Douglas6, do an ELRS bench test. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, over on the ELRS wiki, there's a bench test. You should do that. Good call. Also, think back. Did you do something in beta flight and now it's acting like this? Or did you smash it into a tree and now it's acting like this? If you smashed it into a tree and now it's acting like this, it's physical damage. Cole Power says, I too have a GoPro Bones, can confirm it does not cause flyaways. Must be something else. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that the bones is causing the flyaway. I think that the weight of the bones on the nose of this rig is causing the flyaway. But I'm going to do a little bit of testing and get to the bottom of it. Maximanub says, have you seen and planned on trying GepRc Speed X2 1002 25,000 kV motors? Rumors that they outsource RC and power to produce them. Probably not. I'm kind of done with the 1S 75mm stuff, and that's really where that motor would make sense. I've tested 75mm 1S on not 1002 25,000s, but very, very, very similar motors, and they just don't have... 1S is just... We're asking too much from 1S to carry around the weight of a 75mm rig. And so, yeah, I'm almost certainly not going to test those because 2S75 is the way to go. It opens the doors on a ton of different motors. It's barely heavier. It's like 2 grams heavier. And you're always going to get way more efficiency from a 2S setup than a 1S setup, right? So, like, no matter what, it's going to be way more efficient. And then you're also going to get a ton more power out of it. So, and like 75mm rigs with a 2S setup are light enough where durability is not a problem. One of the big reasons to not go up to the higher voltages is that you're almost always going to gain weight. And if you've got something that's at the limit of durability, then that matters. And so, like, but that's not the case here. The 2S 75mm rigs, again, they only gain 2 grams, and they've been plenty durable for me. And so, yeah, it's I'm just sort of almost certainly not going back. And I've tested enough. Hit me right in the face. I've tested enough different motors at different KVs to have seen that we are asking too much of the 1S voltage at the weight and power draw that a 75mm rig is going to ask for, and what outdoor flying asks for. 75mm rigs do not make any sense in the house. If you just want to be different for the sake of being different, maybe, okay, I guess, but like it's not... If you want to fly good, or at least fly something that performs good, it makes no sense whatsoever. And so at that point, it's like, well, what are they for? They're for flying outside. They're for flying around your garden. They're for flying up and down the street. And that is a very different assignment than flying in the house, right? Like, if you just want to fly in your tight little garden, there's a bunch of space around that garden. And having a 2S rig that's going to have way more power and efficiency makes way more sense for that scenario where you're flying outside. Again, you're only going to gain 2 grams. That's not going to affect the maneuverability in through the garden and the bushes, especially when you take into account how much better the response time is on 2S. I actually find it to be easier to fly the 2S rigs, again, because the response time and the performance is so much better. So yeah, 1S is absolutely perfect for 65 millimeter indoor tiny whoops. Unquestionably, it is the right setup. But that is it. That is what 1S is for. If you're using 1S for bigger stuff than that, you're just doing it because you want to be different, and being different, you know, a lot of people think it's cool, and maybe it is, I don't know. But, or you have a bunch of 1S batteries and you want to use them. And I get that. I have a ton of 1S batteries, and I still have 1S 75 millimeter rigs that I will use those batteries on. But if you want something that flatters you as a pilot and flies better, we know what that is. I've done months and months and months and months of testing to get to that point. If you think I'm lying with that testing, you're wrong. I have no reason to lie. I don't care. None of these people send me batteries, or, you know, like, I don't care. There's no reason for me to lie. Always look for the people that have no reason to lie, my friends. You guys all know that, but it's important. I get sent practically nothing. Always remember, I get sent practically nothing. And anytime I get sent stuff, I let the people sending it to me know that they're going to get an honest review, and if I don't like it, I'm going to tell a couple thousand people that I don't like it. And some of them will then choose not to send me stuff. Some of them that, you know, want the feedback and believe in their products will. So, yo, being able to lay back in this chair is luxurious. I gotta slide my ass so far back on the chair though. It's weird. Morton Upshot says, "Bad ESC? What's what do you mean?" Uriel says, "What's your fingers? They're getting better, man. There's gonna be a point where, so like one of the propellers like damn near chopped the tip of this finger off. There's like the wound is like this, and there's just this bit hanging on. There's gonna be a point where this falls off, and that's gonna be pretty gross." But yeah, it's getting there. This still hurts. And I actually smashed it the other day, which was really stupid. I'm now using both hands again and just acting like this doesn't even exist, which is probably stupid. I should probably relax a little bit more and give it a little bit more time to heal, because under this Band-Aid is still hamburger. But I can't live left-handed anymore. I can't. It's too much. And so I'm just moving on, and whatever. It'll take a little bit longer to heal, but yeah, I have feeling all around here. I don't have feeling where this is chopped, which kind of makes sense, but hopefully once this bit falls off and the skin regrows there will be feeling again. This still, I don't know if there's like nerve damage or whatever here, because it still hurts like shit when I touch it, because it's regrowing a lot. Like the propeller like really dug into where my finger and my sort of cuticle is. So this is still kind of painful, but I can see that it's healing and it's not infected and whatever. So I just have to give it longer. But Zabluga says something, but then YouTube scrolled me to the bottom. Come on. Zabluga says hi. Cole Power says, talk about wild. Did you see JB blow up a lithium silicone battery? Yeah, I was talking about that last week. If you guys haven't seen that, you should watch it. That was pretty insane. That battery, I don't know if it's because of lithium silicone batteries or if it's because it was just such a big battery. it did not shoot a fireball like the lipos that we've seen blown up by Joshua and Flight Test did. It just blew up. Like the lipos, when they let go over like a few seconds. Like they shoot a big fireball and make noises, and it's violent as hell, but it takes place over 2, 3, 4 seconds. That lithium silicone battery, it blew up. It actually blew up. It didn't shoot a fireball. It blew up over the course of like a quarter of a second. Just and that was extremely violent and extremely scary. So I don't know about those lithium silicone batteries, bro. I mean, it was a big ass battery. So maybe it was just because it was such a high MAH, such a big battery, but that was wild. Atreides says, I was the one who tried to make it somewhat safe. They were going to just do it on a table that falls apart, and I anchored it to the ground. Thank God, brother. That was creepy. If you haven't seen it, 533, the 533 team wanted to test two of the best ESCs that they've been running against the new HD0 ESC, and the testing methodology was to build a few 5-inch racing rigs with their, really powerful 2207s, strap them down to a table, put big ass 6S batteries on them, and just run them full throttle until the ESCs exploded. And I don't think I've ever seen a 5-inch racing, any 5-inch rig strapped down at full throttle before. That was pretty ridiculous. You should go watch it. It's something else to see the amount of violence that these things make when they're strapped down. Like, it's one thing when they're in the air and you go full throttle and they start moving. It's a completely different thing to see the column of air that they push down continuously. That was pretty nuts. Everyday with Bruno says, like putting an EcoBoost in a 95 Escort. What's that in reference to? Cole Power says 1.4 inch, not millimeter. Yeah, did I say millimeter? Sorry, 1.4 inch. Craig says... Craig tagged Eco. Gamehead Ariel says, turn the tables on the fly with a whoop. Chase him down. VPro says, yeah, 1.4 inch was the only idea. After watching your streams, I'll do that. Very cool. Kazuki says, the other thing you can do, VPro, is build an identical rig. It is really nice to have two identical rigs. You can treat the one like absolute shit and just absolutely fly it as hard as possible. And then if it breaks, whatever, you just plug the next one in and away you go as you're repairing that first one. So that's another really good thing to do. Kazuki says, have missed a load of streams. Can I get a too long didn't read on 1.4 inch builds? Yeah, so over the years, I've been trying to find a formula that works with these Beta FPV Meteor 65 Pro frames that they're still 65 millimeter motor to motor, but they've made the prop guards bigger so that you can run 1.4 inch props instead of our standard 1.2 inch props. In the past, since the propellers are bigger and heavier, and the frame is a little bit bigger and heavier, in the past, I ran 802 motors and I tried 603 motors because I assumed that the bigger propellers that are heavier and more draggy and the bigger, heavier frame would need a bigger motor, and it wouldn't really work on a tiny little 702 because the 702 seemed to be perfectly sized for 1.2 inch props. Also, in the past, we didn't really have good propeller options in this size. HQ just put out a new 1.4 inch propeller. This is not it. This is the GemFan 35mm S. But with HQ putting out that new propeller, I said, you know what? Awesome. I'm going to retest 1.4 inch, and this time I'm going to try a different motor, and I'm going to go to a 702. So I started the testing, and I was pleasantly surprised with how well the 702 motors were able to control these 1.4 inch props. And so that, of course, led to me building 4 of the damn things so that I could compare them head to head and get some actual data. And so, yeah, lots of live streams with that testing if you want to kind of follow along. But the long and short of it is that these 1.4 inch builds, if you keep them lightweight, if you build these heavy, the 702 motors start to struggle. And they get too hot and they lose efficiency and they're just not good. But if you keep these builds nice and lightweight, they're really fun. The heavier propellers don't spin up and down as fast, so you sacrifice some response time, but what you gain is float. And it's really fun. These are super, super, super fun to fly. They're a different experience than 1.2 inch rigs. They are totally flyable indoors. This is like if like me, you're wasting a lot of time trying to get a 75 millimeter 1S rig to work inside the house. This is what you want. This is what you're going for. It's more floaty. It's bigger. It's wider. But it's still quick enough to actually be realistic to fly inside the house if you're not one of the top 10 pilots on Earth. And so for us mere mortals, and if 1.2 inch rigs are too twitchy or too, the response time is too good for you, and you want something that is, more floaty, this is really fun. The flight controllers, the AIOs that you're going to want on here are either the Newbie Drone Hummingbird V4 or the Beta FPV Air flight controller, or the whatever the flight control. I think it's I don't know what it's called, but whatever the flight controller that comes with the Mobula 6 2024 is. These are all the lighter weight AIOs. This frame won't even work with a 2G4 AIO, nor would you want it because it's too heavy. I think this frame will work with the Beta FPV Matrix AIO, but again, it's too heavy. These 1.4 inch builds, you got to keep them light. We're asking a lot of these 0702 motors with these bigger propellers and the bigger frame. So you got to keep these builds light. That's the key. So yeah, there you go. Thanks a lot, Canon. You ass bags. Let me fix this. Hold on. Come on back, EOS webcam utility. All right, you're back. Work, EOS webcam utility. Work. God damn you. There it goes. Hey. Islander FPV says, just flashed my 04 Mobula 8 to 48K and swapped to the HQ 2-inch 1.5 pitch. Which props are those? Bi-blades and had 0 jello flying midday under full sun when I used to get jello on the GemFan 2023 tries. What propeller is that? HQ 51 millimeter 1.5 pitch. Canon, please, man. Please! You force us to use this goddamn software. What the hell? Where did these props come from? Do I have some of these? Hold on. I might have some of these. Wait, do I have some of these right here? No. 2-inch. Where's my bag of 2-inch props? Those are 3. Those are 3. Here's my bag of 2.5-inch props. You want to see? You guys want to see what Obsession looks like? This is every single 2-inch prop that's ever been made in FPV. Props are so cheap and they make such a big difference in the way these things fly that, like, whenever a new prop comes out, I just buy it. Here's the Azure 2-inch tri-blades. Beta FPV's Emax Avan 2-inch quad blade. Oh man, these are Rack and Heli 2-inch 5 blades. A lot of these older if you haven't heard of some of these, they're probably old and not very well balanced. Old props were very out of balance. These are the DYS tri-blades. OG heads, follow along. You'll know these props. Here are the actual Avan quad blades. These are great propellers. These are, oh shit, these are called like rocket prop. They're super out of balance. Tri-blades with a crazy blade profile. These are GemFan 2x2.5 tri-blades. These are the Dow prop quad blades. These are GemFan 2023 tries. These are the Emax Avan Blur tri-blades, another really good prop, really good 2-inch propeller. These are Fleek props by Furious FPV. They've got a really cool little winglet on the tip, but they're not very well balanced. I forget what these are, but they have a funny, like, little checkered pattern on them. Little tri-blades. There's no shot that I'll remember who makes them. They were, there was like one website that sold them. I remember, I just found them, I got like one set and they were out of balance. Never bothered to get more. These are HQ 2x2x3 tries. These are the GemFan quad blades, the 51mm. Oh, these are 5 blades. Yeah. 51mm by 5. Cinewoop props, 2-inch Cinewoop props. These are the HQ 6 blades. 55mm by 6, yep. These are GemFan Hulkies 2036 by 4 quad blades. Oh, these are these really cool bow tie props. Lumineer, I believe, 2-inch bi-blades. They're actually a really good propeller. A lot of these are too heavy for tiny whoops. These are the GemFan. I forget what these are. These are old GemFan quad blades, though. These are all for heavyweight 2-inch rigs. GemFan 2020s quad blades. Yeah, I don't have those HQ props. I'll be damned. And then these are the 1.9-inch Furious FPV Fleek props in some really cool colors. Shit, man. I don't have those. HQ 2x1.5 bi-blades. I'm going to have to snag some of them. They look super interesting. These are the Tiny Whoop 2-inch props that I have. These are the really light 2-inch propellers. And I don't think they're in here. These are the GemFan 2008s, which are no good. These are the 2009s, which I didn't like. This is an entire bag of counterclockwise GemFan 2023s. I broke all the clockwise ones. And then these are the 2015s. Yeah, I don't have those. God damn it. Good call, brother. I'm super excited to get that. 15 pitch is great. 15 pitch might be awesome on a lightweight 2-inch 04 setup, like what it sounds like. Although it's going to be on a big heavy frame, right? Like the Module 8 frame is awful heavy. God damn it, Pyrodrone sells them, and I just did a Pyrodrone order. Oh, come on. Don't be the only place that has them. Please, no. I think Pyrodrone is... Wait, no, GetFPV? No, this ain't it. This is the old school one. This one you don't want. This one has this closed top. This ain't it. This is not... The closed top HQ props suck. This is the... Hey, here we go. Here we go. 1.5 with the open top. Cool. So RDQ has them. So I gotta find an excuse to do a race day quads order. Looks like that's it. Oh, GetFPV as well. Sweet. Yeah, there we go. There they are. Although I would like them in green. I mean, whatever though. Looks like Pyrodrone has them in green. Wait, no, nobody has them in green. Just HQ's website in green. Perfect. Yes, nobody has them in green. Awesome. I'm going to open this tab up and leave it. That's how I remind myself of things. It's a terrible system. You should definitely not do it. Because eventually you'll lose all your tabs and you'll be screwed. Happens to me all the time. Not all the time. Happens like every 3 or 4 months. Where am I at in chat here? Cole Power says, might be real, but LSD, low self-discharge, seems to be bait for the counterculture crowd. Maybe. Atreides with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. He says, just want to show support, show some support for all the great knowledge. Thank you, brother. Very, very cool of you. If the rest of you want to support me, head on over to CiottiFPV.com, join the Discord. That's the, not Discord, join the Patreon. That'll get you full access to the Discord. That is the best way to support me. There's also a PayPal button there. There's an Etsy store where you can buy some fun stuff. I'm 3D printing stuff. I have all these fancy colors. Look at this. Every color of the rainbow and then a couple extras. These propodials get thrown in with every single Etsy order that you do. So yeah, if there's something that you want 3D printed that you don't see on my Etsy store, just leave a note. And I can hook you up. Let me know what you want it to be and what color you want it to be, and I'll hook you up. There's a Teespring store with a bunch of fun t-shirts and other stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of affiliate links. Change your bookmarks to someone's affiliate links so that you're supporting people that make content that you can watch for free here on YouTube without even thinking about it. Cool. Gamehead Area says, what if you try that same power loop the opposite way to feel out the trajectory? Same 2 first gates the other direction, ending at the LED gate instead of the drum gate. It'll be exactly the same thing. If I do it backwards, I'll have the exact same problems. The way that this room is set up, the impossible power loop is just a mirror image of the mega power loop. So yeah, if doing it backwards, it'll be exactly the same thing. The center gate and the 2 hanging round GemFan gates, they are they're on the main beam, which is perfectly even in this room. So yeah, I've tried. I remember when I was doing the ultimate power loop, when I first set the gates up there way long ago. I remember trying it in the opposite direction and being like, wow, this is way harder this way. And I stopped. I just stopped doing it like that and started doing it the easy way. So now I'm being faced with that is essentially what's happening here. Although it would be a little bit easier without the drum set in the way, but the problem that I'm having is covering the distance. And I remember that being the problem trying it the other direction. It was like, wow, I can't get that distance. The drum set is kind of sort of in the way, but when I hit the drum set, I didn't have enough distance anyway, so I wouldn't have gotten into the gate. The main problem is covering enough distance inverted and off throttle. And yeah, I just have to relearn how to like shape this, and I just have to nail it. I've only spent like 10 or 15 batteries trying, and that's not that much. So, Gamehead Area says Kazuki Roma frames catching strays on the arms. Maybe they aren't strays. What's that mean? Stray cats? Atreides says my 533 3.5 inch little flipper is dead cat. No way. And Squished X optional. It's for sure a great freestyle drone. Not good for racing. Trust me. LOL. Nice. There you go. So there's a dead cat 3-inch option for you. I didn't realize that existed. Very cool. Gamehead Ariel says, thankfully there are some very light ELRS receivers. You could replace the inbuilt one and keep flying. That is true. I hate having to add an external receiver to Tiny Whoops, though, in fairness. It just seems insane to me. And it's just a pain in the ass to put it somewhere, but absolutely, you get that thing going again. Gamehead also says, I would love to see you prototype a 65mm 2S build. There's just no need for it. We're not out of steam on 1S with 65mm. Here's the biggest problem. A 65mm 2S build would be way too heavy. The smallest batteries... speaking of batteries, I need to get more batteries on the charger. The smallest cell size, individual cell, lipo cell size that we've got that performs even remotely decent is 260 mAh. And so a 2S 65mm rig is going to be 2S 260 mAh. And that's going to be way too heavy, right? Like what I said before, like if you go up in voltage, you have to have batteries that are light enough. And a lot of times the reason that we don't go up in voltage is that we don't want to add weight. 75mm rigs, the batteries that we've been running on them have been 450 mAh1S and 550 mAh1S. So if you take a 260 mAh battery and you smack two of them together, now you've got a 260 2S, which is the equivalent of 520 mAh 1S. 520 mAh is right in between 450 and 550. And so 2S 75mm makes a lot of sense because we were dragging around heavier 1S batteries. On a 65mm rig, the batteries that we're running are 1S 260 and 1S 300. You could make a 150 mAh cell and then make a 2S battery, but what we've seen is that when you go below 260 mAh on one of these lipo cells, the performance it's just awful. And so there's just no real reason to do that. Yeah, a 65mm 2S build would either be way too heavy, or it would be on a 150 mAh cell that would perform like ass. Even though it would be a 2S cell, it would, yeah, for whatever reason, when you go smaller and smaller, there's a point, and in my opinion, and in my experience over the last 10 years, 450 mAh is actually the number. When these lipo cells go below 450 mAh, smaller than 450 mAh, the performance starts to kind of suck. From the folded cell technology, these 300s are pretty good. These 260s are noticeably worse, which is why most people don't run them. But they are a lot lighter, and like you do get about a minute of good performance out of them. But yeah, that's kind of why you'll never see, I don't think you'll ever see a 65mm 2S build that performs all that well. They'll either be too heavy or, yeah, they won't have the performance there. Cole Powers says he gets $5.68 from affiliates. He's compromised. Yeah. The percentages that the affiliate programs do are fairly low, but it does make a difference, and there's no reason. Every little thing helps, right? But the main thing is that there's no reason to not do it. There's no reason to not just change your bookmarks and support somebody a little bit. Cole Power says, yeah, it didn't burn, it detonated, in reference to the sodium battery on Joshua's channel. Bagzilla says, thank you for your recommendations on the 2S 75mm 04 build. It's currently my favorite quad to fly right now. Yeah, they are absolute magic. Gamehead Ariel says, isn't the Pro frame a touch longer than 65mm? Motor post to motor post. Hashtag Nick Burns. It might be. It doesn't matter. They called it what they called it. Islander FPV says those HQ 2-inch bi-blades are almost half the weight. Jesus. They look like half the propeller of the GemFan 2-inch 1.5 pitch bi-blades. Render says, CiottiFPV, the curator of the FPV museum. Yeah. Ramalala says, I remember the 380 MAH 6S battery you looked at. Could you build a super twig? Would the motors be 1.25 by 4/5? What? I will absolutely not be building a 300 MAH 6S setup. There's no reason whatsoever to do that. When you say super twig, I'm assuming that that's like a toothpick style build. 6S should be used if you've got a 4S build where the amperage is getting too high and you're starting to lose efficiency from heat. This is what happened with 5-inch freestyle builds a bunch of years ago when we all moved to 6S, and there was a significant power advantage, efficiency advantage there. It's not a power advantage. You can get just as much power out of 4S, but the efficiency is going to go absolutely to hell because the amps are going to go through the roof. It makes a lot of sense to move from 4S to 6S on big, gnarly 5-inch freestyle rigs. On pretty much anything smaller than that, it doesn't make any sense to go to 6S, and it's actually way harder on the ESC. And in my experience, it's worse. I've tried going to 6S on 3-inch micro builds 3 times over the years, and all 3 of those times there was no improvement in power or efficiency, and the ESCs blew up a lot quicker from having to deal with all that extra voltage. And so to do 6S on a toothpick is even dumber than doing 6S on big, heavy 3-inch freestyle builds. So yeah, I will never do something like that. I you know, if you just want to get a bunch of attention and a bunch of clicks and subscriptions on your channel, then yeah, sure, do that. People like to see freak shows. I tend to not do that. I try to avoid, like, if there's a chance that something might be better in some way, I'll do it. But in this scenario, there's not. I've done enough testing. I know some of the sort of math, let's say, behind it, or physics behind it, or whatever. And it would literally just be a straight up freak show. This is why I'm not a good YouTuber. But I don't want to be a good YouTuber. I want to be a good FPV pilot, and I want to be a good source of reliable, valuable information. And so, yeah, I'll never have a ton of subscribers, but luckily I have an amazing audience that hangs out and supports me enough where I can do this full time, right? Like, there aren't many, if any, other YouTubers with numbers as low as mine that are able to do it full time. Admittedly, this isn't the only thing that I do, right? I I supplement this with flying professional gigs and whatnot. But like to do YouTube pretty much full time on like 11,000 subscribers is insane. But it really shows how little people understand this, right? Like, people just don't get it. They think that having a massive subscriber number, in some way you make money from that. You don't. Having tens or hundreds of thousands of views, people think that you make money from that. I mean, you make a couple pennies from it, but not enough to live off of. It's about doing good work in the end, right? Do good work that has value, and people will support you because they want you to, if you find the right people, right? This is kind of the other thing. If you do a ton of shorts and if you target like 14-year-olds, all right, you're going to look like you have a giant e-penis with like massive numbers, but you're not going to make any money because 14-year-olds don't work and they don't have any money unless they take it from their parents. But yeah, so there you go. A little bit of running a little tiny business 101 for you, I guess. I don't know. I don't know shit about running a business. I just do good work, and a bunch of you guys appreciate that and support me to allow me to continue to do it so that you can save money and not buy trash. It kind of works, man. I would have absolutely joined the page 10 years ago. I absolutely would have paid 5, 10, 15 bucks a month, whatever I had, to somebody on YouTube that was testing shit and telling me what sucks and what's great. I would love, and that would have saved me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I was an idiot and I did all that myself, and I just bought everything that I could get my hands on and tested it all. And it's pretty cool that I've been able to make something out of that. And I appreciate every single one of you that supports me on that journey. The more you support me, the more shit that I can test. And hopefully the more money I can save you. So there you go. There's the salesman coming out. Gamehead Ariel says, I was waiting for those Hulkies. That's old school. Yeah, man. The Hulkies were not very well balanced, unfortunately. I was super excited for the tri-blade Hulkies to come out, and then I was heartbroken when they were out of balance. I tried hand balancing them, but that was just, you can't do that for freestyle. You go through too many propellers. Dronzen says, I recognized all those props. That's, if any of you recognize all of those propellers, you should find a new hobby. You've been in this one for too long. Bad says, what's the go-to 2-inch for 250 gram AOS Cine 20? Also 1204 6500 kV motors. Okay. I actually don't know. I've not built a 2-inch heavy lift setup, mainly because the 2.5-inch heavy lift setups are already way too loud and way too screechy. And I don't want to make that situation even worse. So I actually don't know. My guess is going to be, if I were to do that, I would be looking for a propeller that's going to be as quiet and as low RPM as possible, which means HQ 6-blade or GemFan 5-blade. So that's probably your best bet. Those are probably your best two options. If you don't want something that's like 5 or 6-blade and you want something that's tri-blade, I would maybe look at the Azure tri-blade 2-inch props if you can find them anywhere. Because with a bunch of 2.5-inch tri-blade propeller testing, the Azure tri-blades proved to be the best for 2.5-inch. So it's probably the same case with 2-inch. But the Emax A-Vans are also really good. The Emax A-Van Blur tri-blades, and I forget what they call the 4-blades, but those are really good options. GameHat says, I think I have a pack of those HQ 2x1.5x2s. I'll put them in the pack when I send you Pickled Freestyle. Awesome, dude. Very cool. Much appreciated. Islander FPV says HQ has a I think 3-blade version of the same prop that's out of stock. I plan on trying as well. I think I saw that on the Google search. Islander, if you find those in stock somewhere, do me a favor and shoot me a message on Discord. GameHat says, my Beyblades are green. Where'd you get the green ones? Shit. Did you get them straight from HQ? YouTube did the thing and scrolled me down. GameHat says, besides the drum set, the LEDs might help you pick up the target. I'm able to see the cube gate. That's not the problem. The problem is I'm not getting enough distance. I'm always either hitting the throttle too early or I'm coming in at an angle where I'm not going to hit it. I need more distance. Ramalala says, I can't be bothered / afford yet, but can I set up a whoop / micro quad to do 3D? You can set it up to do 3D, but the decrease of efficiency when you spin a prop backwards is so much that it's going to struggle to even get off the ground in 3D. So I don't recommend doing it, but if you do it, let us all know. GameHat says the 2S65 was because we could, not because we should. Burlak FPV says, thinking of future replacement motors for my 2S 2.5-inch toothpick, currently running GepRc 1202.5 11,000s. Any favorites to recommend? Not really. I haven't been in the toothpick game for ages. But if those motors don't have quite enough power for you, then look at like a 1203 or look at a motor with higher kV, right? Like, you've been flying that thing, you know if it's got too much or not enough power. And so if you replace the motors, fix that problem with either more kV or more stator size. Or if it's not efficient enough but it has too much power, smaller motors, lower kV. Uriel says, my Emax whirls on both. It's okay. Sure. Ramalala says 150 mAh 1X exists. Absolutely. Batteries at every single different mAh exist. But below 450, and now specifically with folded cell batteries below 300, those lipo pouches perform like shit in the very aggressive situation that we put them in. Micro PP with a 25 PLN super chat says, cheers, buddy. Thank you for the support, Micro PP. This is a joke. Please don't take any offense to this, but good luck with the Micro PP. You can't have that name and then have me not say that. You probably don't have a Micro PP, but your name is Micro PP. And so that fruit is like hanging right here, and I'm going to grab it. And I hope that you laughed. I hope that I didn't offend you. I super appreciate the support. GameHead Ariel says, whenever I see 3.5-inch or smaller 6S freestyle builds, I'm just like, why? LOL. Yeah, it just makes no sense. Bad says, I was installing a GPS on a rig and discovered the GPS made by ViFly that keeps the GPS powered between LiPo swaps, and got me thinking if simulator would work for a DJI Air unit. Similar would work for a DJI Air unit. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cole Power says, that's why we need 8S tiny whoops. There we go. That's the answer. Bad says, on a side note, does ViFly make anything bad? Everything I see is gold. Yeah, every single thing I've gotten from ViFly has been absolutely awesome, which is why I love them as a company. It's hard to do that. So yeah, whenever I see something made by ViFly, I'm like, ooh, should I buy that? I kind of don't need it, but I should buy it to support them, and because I know it's going to be good. GameHead Arrow says, strays meaning stray bullets. Smaller Roma frames have single-piece arms and bottom plates. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I will never... Yeah. Micro PP says, I'm also running a small business. Nice, dude. Good luck. It is very difficult. Very, very difficult. And for many more reasons than like what people say. YouTube did the thing, and now I'm trying to find my place again. You Can Have PV says, what would you build for 2S? I want to use a separate VTX from the AIO. All I have is 1S stuff, so I guess I'd need a new charger too. I need a lot more to go on than that. Like 2S what? 2S whoop, 2S toothpick, 2S lifter, like what? Game Hat says, bought green bi-blades a while ago from Pyro. Pyrodrone had them, damn it. Cold Power says, you know what would handle the impossible power loop with ease? 5-inch. I mean, the 2, like, this would handle it for sure, but you guys wouldn't be able to play along, and I would smash through the door in the process of trying it. Game Hat says, what if we put 3D on a spring button at 100% throttle just for extra hang? Yep, that would be... If I was going to do a 3D tiny whoop, that's pretty much what I would do. You Can FPV says, whoop, my bad. 2S whoop is going to be either 1.6 inch or 2 inch. If you do it as a 1.6 inch, the thought process is keep the weight down, be as maneuverable as possible. So like if you've got a garden in front of your house that you want to duck in and out of like tiny little gaps, that's where I would do a 1.6 inch rig. If you want something to rail up and down the street or just fly like everywhere, 2 inch is really, really good. All right, time to fly. Let's see if I can do it today. I've got half an hour and a bunch of batteries charged. We're gonna go back to the pickled whoop from Game Hat. Okay, cool. Here we go. Here we go. Transmitter on. I'm going to do this with the HD0 goggles because I want to DVR this. So I'm not going to use my OG Fat Shark HD3s. So I'm going to be uncomfortable doing this and probably more cranky, but we're doing it for the DVR. This vinyl brought to you by 533. I don't like the way HD0 goggles look, but the fact that this vinyl exists, I absolutely love it for them. Let's start with the little 260 mAh batteries. They're going to sag like hell, but boy, are they lightweight. Here we go. Pickled Whoop as reviewed Friday. Thanks to Game Hat Ariel. Thank you again, brothers. Game Hat says, will you try GemFan 1210 or just HQ? GemFan 1210. I ran the GemFan 1210s forever. They're okay, but they're old. They're an older propeller, and newer propellers are almost always better. So yeah, if I'm gonna do a bi-blade, it's gonna be the HQ 1.2 by 1.2 by 2. They are absolutely amazing. Here we go. Oh God! Who put that wall there? Oh, balls. Alright, let's just start. Hold on. I was flying a bunch of big things yesterday. I gotta adjust a little bit here. So I'm gonna start trying this as a double throttle blip. So it's gonna be 1, 2. I'm gonna have to speed it up, I think, though. 1. Oh, okay. There might be something to this. So it's gonna look like it stalls out. For Christ's sake. For Christ's sake. So it's gonna look like it stalls out at the ceiling. That's 100% on purpose. Oh, that's how to do it. I can already tell. It's not upstairs when I do it. I do a big enough throttle blip to bring it like that high. I don't want to do that in this scenario, because I want to give myself enough gap between the whoop and the ceiling for a little bit of an arc. So it's going to be like that. Yeah, this is the way to do it. So it's going to be... So it's going to be a little blip just to get a little bit of vertical. And then a big one. Little. Man, I have to completely change what I was doing to make this happen in this different way. Okay. Shit, man. This starts a whole new learning curve. I was getting really close before. Let me try to do it the other way. Oh, you know what I can do? I can kind of blend the two. This is what I start. The first night I was trying it, I started to do it this way. Which is, instead of two distinct throttle blips, just raise the throttle slowly. And then go full throttle. It's almost easier to do it with two throttle blips, though, because then I can just do it with timing. Oh, man. Let's see. Okay. Getting there. Try double blip. Didn't clear the gates. Yeah, see, I'm increasing so much altitude that I'm hitting the ceiling. Oh, yeah. So, that was the double blip. And we were there. Look at that lean back. What a fucking G. I forgot to hit record on the DVR. I'm gonna wear these goggles so that I can have the DVR, and then I'm gonna forget to hit the fucking record button. Alright, another 260. Here we go. We're getting it. Today's the day. Remembering to hit record. This is the one. Oh! What? What is... Hey. Oh! So there's a... Can you see the difference? Can you see it? I hope you can hear it. Oh, that drum set. So as you can see, the problem is... Whoa! Okay. Something ain't right. Okay. What the fuck is happening? Why? How is it possible? Alright, hold on. Something happened. Oh, the battery slid out the front. Good lord. Yeah, of course it's not going to fly like that. The battery tried to escape. Let's fix that. Okay. All set. All better. Pickled Whoop lives. Oops, I hit record. Now it stops recording. Hitting record again. It's recording again. Yep, all's right. Come on, buddy. Me and you. Ooh! That's almost it. Woo! The double blip. Double blip, baby. How fucking dare you? It's all about that double blip. Ah! Crash recovery, hooking a brother up. Ooh! Oh, we're there, man. We are there. Nope, 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 nope. I went too far forward. By doing the double blip, I don't have to go as far through. I don't have to go through this cube all the way to here. And that's what is making the difference. Even though I'm not, like, totally dialed in yet, I'm still getting really close. One more on this battery, it looks like. Fuck you! Stop! It's crowded in this basement, man. There's so much shit down here to hit. Looks like I'm wearing clam diggers because I keep pushing my ass back in this chair and it's pulling my pants up. That's all right. Oh, I broke the little extra hook off the BT 2.0. That's fine though. All right. Man, 2 batteries in, and we're getting really close. Really, really, really close. Last 260. I think it's going to happen with this pickled whoop. I don't think I'm going to need to change builds. Wonder if this crazy 40-degree up tilt is helping or hurting. Yeah, this thing flies so good. Come on! Oh, God! I think that hit the main beam inverted. Oh! 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 And then I can't even get through the goddamn gate. Oh! I'm sorry, but that's close enough. That's close enough. That's it. That's the one. How do you do the floss thing? The double blip. I told you the double blip is how to do it. I was recording too. I told you the double blip. Sometimes you just gotta think this shit through. Alright, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. Uh-oh, hold on. It's flying a little weird. It hit really hard afterwards because I got so excited that the battery shifted forward again. This the light AF frame just kind of does this every once in a while. There we go. All right, now we're good. Ooh! Ooh! How you like me now? All right, here we go. Don't worry, Ramalala. I'm doing it again. It's easy now that I know the double blip method. It's not easy at all. It's easier for sure. Just because I'm not having to cover such a massive distance. Can you? And there we go. Oh! You can even see. Can you guys see what's happening here? You see how much earlier I can spot? Hey! I can spot my landing. Nope. Ah! Stop it. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. There it is. There. Oh, that was it, yo. Yeah, okay. All I need to do is figure out the timing of the double blip, and then the difficulty of this becomes actually a lot less. And to be honest, once I figure the timing out, this becomes no different than the Mega Power Loop, because it's the same distance that I'm covering. And the first blip puts me in roughly the same situation. It's still a little bit different, but hey, hit the back. Now I'm trying to cheat it, and I'm trying to do the blip as early as I can, and I'm hitting the back top of the gate. Oh yeah, buddy. All right, let's get a 300 mAh battery on here. Crotch. Oh! Shit. Stop this DVR. Oh my god, yo. And just as I suspected, getting out of that cube and not just clattering into the drum set is going to be the problem. This is... I'm coming in there hot as hell. So yeah, that's going to be that's going to be what makes this something that can't be done repeatably, I don't think. It's just too busy over there, but that's okay. It can be a Hail Mary move. And I mean, next, I have to try to get it synced up with the Mega Power Loop. Which is going to be it'll be the impossible double power loop, basically. Here we go, 300 mAh time. We'll have a little bit more momentum here. This will be interesting, if I can just, you know, fly normally for a second, maybe. Oh my god, that hang time, yo! Nope. I got a little too sloppy. Nope. I was not commit. I was trying to do it, like, with corrections on that one. It has to be perfect. I have to be lined up just right. Oh, yeah, and I have to really lay into the throttle. I can't, like, pussyfoot around with the throttle. I gotta hammer it. Nope. Oh! Oh, yo! Easy game! Easy game! How you like me now is the question. What is your answer to that question? Oh, you son of a bitch, you. You! Leave me! Oh, stop it, transmitter. I gave you a new battery the other day. Be happy with it. So the next thing that I'm figuring out is how early I can start to pitch back to slow myself down. Pitch back now. Oh my god, I did that. Oh, it reset the flight controller. That was a hard hit. Pickled whoop ain't no joke, yo. This thing is taking all the abuse. See, so by pitching back earlier as I go through that bottom cube, it slows me down, and then I have less distance to cover. As you can see there. Admittedly, the first 2 days I was trying this, I was kind of brute forcing it. I wasn't approaching it, like, intelligently. That was almost it, and that was not even a big throttle hit. This move is all about here. This move happens or doesn't happen early. If I get... fucker. If I go through that bottom cube, cook off my speed, and get the first blip just right, that's what makes this move happen. It's not the exact angle and the exact amount of throttle that I hammer. It's about getting the thing perfectly positioned. Like, shut up. It's about getting it... oh, I wasn't DVRing that. Awesome. Well, I only have evidence that I did it the one time. I'm coming back, but we're gonna do it some more, but I gotta swap this battery out. I can't fucking stand it. It's all about alright, so if this is the gate, if this screen down here is the gate, and then CiottiFPV is the hanging I'm sorry, if this is the cube here, and then CiottiFPV is the hanging gates, it's all about... I kind of have to come in from this other direction. It's all about pitching it back, getting it slowed down. As soon as I get out of this gate, do it with the tiny whoop, you moron. So come through here. It's about getting it slowed down, blip, getting it pitched back, and then whop! It's the move is happening here. What I've been trying to do is come through, pitch back, hammer it to do one big arc where it just barely goes through the hanging gate and then comes down. And so I was literally having to fly it all the way out here to make one big arc, versus way easier, come through here, cook off the speed in the middle of the cube. Yup. And what I'm doing is, once I'm pitching back, I'm leaving that same pitch back. So it's coming through the cube, pitching back slowly, and then blip, keep that same amount of pitch back, blip. So for you guys, you don't see like pitch, you don't, it's just one big slow pitch back, and then I'm going throttle. Game Head Aerial says, fly low through that first gate, rounds out the shape. Yeah, I'm trying to go through there as low. I always try to go through these. The reason why I hit the bottoms of the gates so often is because I try to go through them as low as I possibly can. Thank you for the super chat and the support, brother. So yeah, that is my my default, is to go through these gates ultra low. I can't get the fucking battery door off. What the hell's happening? What the fuck? Hitting it works. Alright. These batteries do not last long. 2S 3,500 mAh. I do not get much time out of these. Kind of crazy. What is cool though... Oh, I just scratched the shit out of my nose. What is cool, though, is I can charge these on the Toothster. I charge these giant QX7 batteries, since they're 2S, on the ViFly Toothster. So I don't have to power up the giant charger. Ah! Almost dropped it on that one. Right, and here we go. Got to get it even cleaner with the DVR recording. Oh. I had the power switch still on. Uriel says, my neighbors start hating you. I cannot keep up with mute. Yo shouting, I don't give a F. Just turn the volume down. What are you, crazy? What are you, a crazy person? I mean, you're into FPV, so you're pretty unhinged. Well, since I've now done it twice with the pickled whoop, let's move on because we're doing something cool with that pickled whoop. I'm gonna wait for Whoop Wednesday to tell you though. Let's stop abusing that. Newbie drone race with biblades. This should be interesting. We'll see if biblades help or hurt. They should help. It should help it sail across the room even easier. Here we go. What? All the switches got flipped down. Why won't you arm? What's happening? I turned the transmitter off, that's why. You just cycle the power. That's always a faster way of getting ELRS to connect. There we go. Looks like I may have put a dead battery on here. I did indeed. Alright, here we go. We got fresh Weebleed battery. Oh man, this is child's play now. This is easy. Now that I got it figured out. I was starting to get a little weirded out how difficult it was. I was just doing it wrong. I was in angle mode. Stop it! Here we go. Nope, 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 nope. That was just a warm-up. Taking off with a big yaw slam. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling the flow now. Oh, yeah. It's gonna happen. Oh! Oh! Get the DVR going, you giant monkey. What? Easy game to make that distance now. Stop. I'm really, like I said, I'm really trying to cheat it now. I'm not gonna be able to get out of here, am I? There we go. I can get out. Look at me go. Come on now. Let's get it. Oh, I thought I was going to hit the drum set. So much so that I just gave up on life. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo! That inverted hang time is just so delicious. Oh! Ah! Oh! It was in there! Nope, 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 nope. 2 weeks from now, I'll be doing this with, like, massive roll corrections in there. Mark my words. Nerp. This is not... I mean, I might be able to do this on a dead battery, but I have a bunch more charged, so let's just swap it out. And we will go again. Here we go. DVR still recording. Here's where I put that other camera. Here, hold on. Hold on. Does it... Here. This is what you guys wanted. Is this fun? Let's see. Oh! I cannot fucking believe that just happened! Could you see it? Did you see it? Oh my god. I mean... I'll just do it again. That was the cleanest one yet. I got it on DVR. Oh, yeah. It's no big deal all of a sudden. We're going to do it back to back. Here we go. Oh my god, that one was was at rocket speed. I'm stuck behind the I'm stuck between the gate and the wall. Oh my god, we got this figured out, yo. We got this figured out. Oh. Shit. Damn, son. What you know about that? Hero says, yeah, me, giant monkey. Here we go. Man, I think the bi-blades do make it easier. It does, like, the issue of... What the fuck? The issue of covering the distance all of a sudden is not an issue, which certainly had... How? How is this real life? Jesus fucking Christ. I'll never understand how the tiny whoop ends up in these insane situations where it's completely wedged between two things that are 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter. Great. Oh! Careful! Oh, you dirty rat hoe. Oh, no. Oh, that's never good. That's never a good sign. Let's go try to find it. Oh, Christ. Where you at, little guy? God, I hate when they go unplugged. Hey, there it is. It ejected the battery. Oh, Christ. Man, it just spit the battery clean out. It must have just hit. It must have hit like just right. Okay, flat spot towards me. All right, here we go. Here we go. Got to get it a couple more times, and then we can start trying it with the double, which is kind of unreasonably difficult, but especially because at the bottom, well, you'll see. Oh my god. It looks really cool. Oh, this battery is hurting. Oh. Try it one more. What? Fuck off, chair! God damn it! Leave me be! Oh my god, man. Something might be going on with this rig. It seems to be flying a little weird. Maybe it's the battery. All right, come on, 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 go, 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 go. Yeah, something's going on with this rig. It's got a little assimilation. No! I kind of rushed it on that one. Woo! Nope. Oh, got the cymbal hard on that one. Shit. I'm kind of trying to cheat different parts of it at this point as I make little corrections. Stop it. Stop bouncing. Oh, that one was super close to going in there. I was ready for it, too. Oh, wow, it came so close to the cymbal. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, it's still ridiculously hard. Oh my god! Oh my god, yo! That was so cool. Oh. That was so cool looking. That was absolutely the coolest looking one. Like, the way that it scraped the ceiling. Oh, yo! Yo! Okay, now we can start doing the double. I was waiting to get, like, a real clean one, and that was it. I wonder what just happened to this. Oh, the camera plug backed out. Wow, dude, that was just insane looking. Ooh. Oh. Oh my god, yo. That looked like I did it on purpose. If you know what I mean. All right. Now, well, shit. I don't have this cube pulled out and plugged in. So this is going to be ridiculously difficult, but woo, still doable. Oh, yeah, this is going to be kind of ridiculous. Oh. Come on now. Oy. Even just from pulling this out a little bit, what's happening? Why does the camera feel like it's sideways? Even just pulling this cube out, like, essentially one cube's length, it drastically changes it, yeah, because the camera is not facing forward, that's why. The Bri-Brain mount, every once in a while, slots to the side of the camera plug, and then the camera's it's not rotated sideways, it's just pointing sideways, and you gotta just push it back over. Here we go. Going for the double. Still recording in the DVR. Hey, let's just smash into the bass drum. It'll be great. Hold on. Jesus, really? I had adjusted to the camera being pointed sideways, so now I have to unadjust. That's too fucking funny. You! Stop it! Stop! You! My god, this thing has so much jam. Ah! Whoa, yo, I'm carrying so much speed. How the hell am I gonna cook that off? I might have to do like a triple throttle blip here, because I'm gonna have to do one big blip to cook off the 80 miles an hour that I'm covering across the room. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be next level difficult. Oh, that was almost it. And I didn't... I had, like, just the right amount of momentum on that one. So I would have had the least momentum to try to cook off. Oh! Ooh, one step closer. Oh, shit. Crash recovery. Aye. Ah! Stop. Ah! Oh my god. It is so hard to catch it from that. Ah! Now I'm overthinking it. I'm trying to prepare for what's next. And that's making me not complete this. Oh boy. This is I'm gonna light this building on fire if I can hit this. Because I don't want anyone to ever do anything this difficult in here again. And so it's worth it. I'll make sure that that Maggie and the kids are out and the dog. But this place is being burned down. If I can get this. Fair warning. Okay. Oh. Ah. Woo! Ah! So what's basically happening there is I keep getting on the throttle too early. Because the higher that I can go, the less horizontal momentum that I have to travel. Oh, you fucker! Oh my god, Crash Recovery got all freaked out. Oh, this is so much fucking fun. Why didn't I just go right into it there? That was a weird thing to do. Oh! I didn't think it was gonna make it. I was actually pretty sure it wasn't gonna make it. And I bailed. Oh! Damn it. No. Fuck you. Fuck you. Don't fly frustrated. Don't fly frustrated. It doesn't lead to good things. Camera came unplugged again. It's fine. I'm gonna change the battery though. That was 100% man frustration coming out. Just, we've all got that. We fight against it as much as we can, but it's always there. It's always there. Oh my god. I believe the camera mount. Come on, I'm starting to get. Oh Jesus Christ! I shut my eyes on that one. Yep, the camera mount has shifted again. Here's what's. I don't have my little handheld camera. The never mind. There we go. Oosh. Yep, do that. I like that. Keep doing it. When that's happening, I'm just going full throttle. Oh! That was pretty fucking cool. I wish I'd done that on purpose. Alright, having that cube not be pulled out a little bit, it's too much. It's just too difficult. Alright, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my god, that's just I'm not gonna say it's so much easier, but it's noticeably less of a distance. Oh shit. I mean, that's not what I'm going for here, but that was still pretty hot. And that really shows me how difficult it's going to be to cook off the speed. Oh, big correction. Once you make that correction, like, it's just a total Hail Mary. Because, like, the whoop is not going in the right direction at that point. Ugh! Two more. Let's switch rigs again. That was the Newbie Drone Race V2. Now we're gonna do 2G4 light AF frame, 0702 36,000 kV motor, same props. This is the heavier rig. This may or may not help. Last two batteries. New Beta FPV lavas now. Those are all Weebleed batteries. All right, real quick, just to round this out. This is a Runcam Nano 3. Okay. Wow, this thing feels a lot fatter. I mean, it is. It is a lot fatter, but boy. Okay, this ain't the quad. Going back to the pickled whoop. This is just too heavy. The direction changes are too slow. And it's actually going to make the situation way worse. This is not what I want. I need something lightweight. This is all direction changes. That was also much lower up tilt. Here we go! Yeah, it feels better. Fuck you! Stop, man! Pickled whoop. Going for the impossible. The double impossible. God damn it. Ah! Nope. Gotta be lined up. Woo! Look at us! Look at those LEDs spinning around. I don't know how the hell it got back onto that side of the room. Oh. Yeah, I got a ways to go before I can tie these two together. Oh, you son of a hoe. Ah! Why can't I even do the goddamn mega power loop all of a sudden? Ah! I think it might be an up tilt thing. This is 40 degrees of up tilt, which I'm really not used to. No! Uh-oh. That was weird. Oh! That was weird. Uh-oh. Beta FPV VTX is Beta FPV VTXing. Uh-oh. Oh, Beta FPV, can you please do something about this? Ish. Ish. Ah! No! Last battery, friends. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. Whoa, boy. Little, I did not think that I would knock out the quote-unquote impossible power loop and then start trying the double on this stream. It's the impossible power loop and the double impossible power loop. All right. Here we go. Ugh. It can't be like all janky like that. Like then going into the, like if I'd then gone into the double power loop, that doesn't count. It has to be one move. Nope. Ah! I don't even like that. I flew into the Weebleed cube so slow that it didn't even feel good. Ah! Yeah, something's going on. I keep hitting the ceiling. It must be the up tilt. It must be this 40-degree up tilt mount throwing me off. That wasn't lined up quite right. Oh, you. I can't do it when I hit the ceiling. It just kills the momentum. It kills the vibe, bro. Oh, you son of a hoe. Alright, now I'm just all over the fucking place. What's happening? Ugh. I can't even just fly in a straight line at this point. What is happening? Hold on. Something's... I can't do anything. Have I just flown too many batteries? Ah! Oh my god, are you kidding me? That was so close! Holy shit, I forgot to do the double throttle blip, but man... I mean, that's what it's gonna look like. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. Luckily, HD0 goggles record in 60 frames a second, because that's gonna need to be slowed down to see what the hell is happening. Ah! If anybody wants to try this, let me know and I'll give you measurements. If you want to see how unreasonably difficult this is. Oh, and that's all she wrote. I got one more. Try one more. Nope. Wow, the up tilt makes it very difficult for me to not just slam into the ceiling over and over again. Very weird. Oh man, I can't even line it up right. Nope. I'm so amazed by the time that I got it through the fucking cube that my brain just like good. I was sitting here hoping. Nerp. Damn, dude. Impossible power loop has been made possible. I'm thrilled with that. I just lost that entire DVR file. Oh, you giant imbecile. I have no proof of any of that. I just left the DVR on for like the last 6 batteries. Well, I mean, I can do it. I can do it again. I can't believe I just did that. I can totally believe that I just did that. Man, look at my face. So this is the main thing that I don't like about the HD0 goggles. They're so long. They sit out so far from your face, and they're so heavy that they just push. They just push down here. You can tighten up the strap to kind of pull, but then it's putting even more pressure there. The HD0 goggles to me are some of the least comfortable goggles, even with, I have the really nice Newbie Drone foam. But yeah, just the depth of the goggles and the weight of the goggles make them, to me, extremely uncomfortable. But, you know, they've got the best DVR in them, so we use them regardless. But, boy, the Fat Sharks are so much more comfy on my face. Whew, boy. Thank God I used these so that I could accidentally delete the entire DVR file like a complete idiot. All I had to do was hit stop and restart just once in that whole, like, last string of 6 or 7 batteries, but I didn't. All right. Super quick. I'm not gonna get caught up on all of chat, but Cole Power says, I'd gladly help make a 3D print that attaches somewhere on the HD0 goggles and provides a third strap to the back. Yeah, that's really what you would have to do, is that you'd have to make like a different thing for up here and then do a strap up over your head. I hate the way the head strap thing feels, and I've got super tall hair, so I appreciate the offer, but yeah, the middle strap thing is just, yeah, I can't do it. GameHat says default reporting. Yeah, no, I have MP4 because dealing with TS is like putting your dick in a vice. GameHat also says Torval race strap helps a lot with the weight. You need an adapter. Yeah, I mean if it's a 3-prong strap thing, I can see why. But there's no regular strap that's gonna help. It's just physics. Uriel says you can do it again. I'm the big monkey. You can FPV says this is why I use .ts. Yeah. Cole Powers does DVR break files based on the battery like mine does. They used to do that. The HD0 goggles used to do that, but at some point they stopped doing it. I don't know. I don't know why. Cole Powers says, I'm starting to wonder if your yaw wires? Yaw wires? What are yaw wires? Are starting to wear out like mine did recently. It's a quick resolder. Triages to connect the computer and look at inputs for twitches. Yaw wires? There aren't any wires that are specifically for yaw. What you talking about, Willis? Stephen for Element says so close. Ramalala says almost full Tron. What, the goggles? Yeah. Gert X says, I think I'm not the first one asking, but what are your thoughts on the Caddx FPV, Geezer FPV camera is what I choose to call it. Well, it's analog, so 1500 TV lines ain't gonna do jack shit. It's an analog camera, but then it's hooked up to... What is this? So it's night vision. I mean, that's kind of cool, but there's loads of night vision cameras. What's the deal with this giant box? Is this like a 2-watt VTX or something like that? What is this? Zoom? What? I don't understand why there's a huge box with it. Like that huge box says I'm a digital camera, but they very specifically say that it's an analog camera. So I think Caddx is confused at their own product, which makes it awful challenging for me to talk about it. The sensor on the camera is 1080, but then the output looks like it's analog. Oh, this is interesting. Does it record it? Oh, so this is a split. Oh, okay. So this is just a split camera. So it being a split camera, it's gonna suck. Where's the... Yeah, so the problem with the split cameras is always field of view. They don't talk about field of view anywhere, so they know that that's the problem, so they're trying to hide it. So yeah, don't get it. It's a split camera. It's going to be a nightmare. What the split cameras always do is the sensor is 1080, and then for the analog feed, they just crop in. So your field of view is like pretty much is like bordering on unflyable. So yeah, don't do that. The split cameras are not the way to go. So yeah, don't get the Geezer. Sorry, I thought I was sharing my screen. Cole Powers says frustrated flags with the simulators for, yeah. But I don't get frustrated when I'm in the simulator. Gerjan X says, hey. Raulala says I rewound that smooth. I'm exhausted because I'm trying really hard to fix my sleep schedule. And in order to fix your sleep schedule, you're tired for a while. Cole Powers says, leave me be. You ran into me. All these goddamn little toys. What are you, some kind of man-child chair? Game at Ariel says, what if you Immelman the gates? I don't like Immelmans. In the direction of the impossible loop roll I can't make sense of any of that. CoPower says, could be the bi-blades. I noticed mine punch out harder than the tri-blades. They can summon power quickly, but they do not corner great without extra power. Yeah, the bi-blades are fun, but they're tough. They're much less accurate. There's lots of comments, but I feel like my brain has melted into the carpet, so I'm gonna call it. I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Be good, friends. Here's some more flying outside, something that I never do, but I had a blast doing yesterday. This is the Siren F3 split. Is this the right file? No, this is not the right file. Why'd you play the wrong file, you idiot? I'm talking to the software, not the... What? Why is this playing this file now? Oh, because I clicked the wrong one. That'll do it every time. Oh, this file is 1 second long. 3.1 megabytes, that's why. What about this one? This one's 487 megs. This is the one. See you guys tomorrow. This is a Siren build. 1505 motors on GemFan 3052 props. With a bit of a dirty lens. What am I doing? This ain't the one. 09. Here we go. This is the one. See you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye.